Welcome all to the Vanguard ZERO Content Creator Invitational. My name is Alex from Bushiroad, and I will be your commentator for this tournament. For this tournament, we have invited 8 content creators or organizations to participate in a best-of-3 single elimination tournament to showcase their skills. And without further ado, let's get into it. For our first game, we have CardProtagonist versus FGC Neo from the organization Vision. Okay, it looks to be a Royal Paladin versus Shadow Paladin match, with FGC Neo taking the first move. Okay, it looks like CardProtagonist has a very solid opening hand, whereas Neo might need a little bit of work, and unfortunately he does not have the ride chain unless he rides into it.
Stand up, Vanguard.
And unfortunately he did not draw into the Blaster Javelin.
Stand and draw.
CardProtagonist going into Mandarin. Going straight into the battle phase and checking an early game heal trigger. Ooh, heal triggers are indeed good, but not when you have no damage to heal. And Neo getting a draw trigger, and let's see, drawing into a Phantom Blaster Overlord. Oh, and FGC Neo is forced to ride into Nemain, calling a second Nemain. Let's see, who's he gonna discard? Discarding a Phantom Blaster Dragon? Okay, doesn't really need more than one. And drawing into that Blaster Javelin and Masquerade. Swinging with the main first and getting no trigger. Next, moving on to Masquerade. Interesting move. Normally when you play against Royal Paladins, people tend to damage deny during the first turn, so they are unable to use Wingle Brave's skill after to search out a blaster. CardProtagonist not gonna play any other cards? Going straight to the battle? Yes, he is. Going for the Masquerade. The main is not much of a threat, so it makes sense that he goes after Masquerade first. He's also not using Wingle Brave. Maybe because he's already set up in his hand. So Neo does get the Phantom Blaster Dragon, but without a Blaster Dragon Soul, he does not get the additional 1000 power. But that heal trigger is gonna help him out a little bit. Okay, does CardProtagonist get a trigger in response? No, he doesn't. So that the main is definitely going to be able to attack the Blaster Blade. The damage now is 0 to 3. And all those 3 all making the ends? Huh. What are the odds? There it is, Majesty Lord Blaster. CardProtagonist is using Ganslot to grab out the Blaster Blade. Is he going to go for the second Ganslot? Okay, he calls out the Blaster Dark. Oh, and the Palamidi is going for 2 swings at the Vanguard, you see. And he is going to use the second Ganslot to grab the Blaster Blade. Better now than later, right? Especially since he does need as many heal triggers back in his deck as possible to try to close the gap a little bit. Not going to use the Blaster Blade skills, so that because Blaster Dark can easily take out that in the main. Smart move. Very smart.
ヴァンガードにアタック。
ダメージ値。
ヴァンガードにアタック発動。
And he is indeed going to use Magical Blaster's skill to get that additional 10k power and the passive 2000 power and extra critical. And into a draw trigger too, wow. Damaging a Sentinel. Okay, now it looks like they're tied in damage. And Neil's indeed gonna go for the Phantom Blaster Overlord, and plus 1 point for style going for that SP instead of the regular triple R. And he's not going to use his Phantom Blaster Overlord skill to retire the Palamedes, but he's gonna use a Persona Blast to try to bait out that Sentinel. He is indeed trying to bait out that Sentinel or go for the 6 damage right away. Kind of hurts whenever you see a Sentinel being checked during the trigger check because, you know, it's not like the physical Vanguard game that goes to hand. Instead, it just goes straight to the bottom. So that Sentinel's not going to help him next turn. Okay, what is CardProtagonist gonna do now? Facing down a cross-ridden Phantom Blaster Overlord. Is he gonna retire the Masquerade? Yes, he is. First things first, get rid of that Interceptor, right? And that Blaster Blade is still able to hit that Blaster Javelin. He has to think of the proper order because as Neo gets damaged, his Overlord does get stronger. So he has to place the Naren in the right area and choose the proper order for attacks. Mr. Neo's also at 3 damage, so maybe CardProtagonist trying to bait out that extra that Sentinel he has in his hand, maybe. And yep, that Sentinel denies the Magic Sword Blaster attack. Does he get a trigger? He does also get the draw trigger, putting himself at 23,000. That Blaster Blade is not hitting him. So he's forced to go after the Blaster Javelin. Okay, 3 cards in his hand now. The Blaster Javelin. Oh, Phantom Blaster Dragon, and that middle card. Oh, her name escapes me. But Neo is indeed going for the retiring of Blaster Blade. So now he's free to attack CardProtagonist's Magic Sword Blaster as much as he likes. And with Magic Sword Blaster, with CardProtagonist not having a Sentinel in his hand, this could be a tricky situation for him. And losing the booster, so even if it survives, he got a hard time attacking next turn. And a draw trigger to the Phantom Blaster Dragon, putting him at 22,000. So even if CardProtagonist had that damage trigger, that Phantom Blaster Dragon's gotta hit him. And that is 6 damage. So FGC Neo takes the first game, putting him at the score to 1-0. Okay, we are moving on to game 2 between CardProtagonist and FGC Neo. Okay, this time CardProtagonist is going first. FGC Neo not getting his ride chain again. Neither is CardProtagonist.
Stand up.
But in the previous game, Neo did not damage the non-CardProtagonist, so there's a chance he might be able to grab his Magisaur Blaster on his next turn if Neo attacks him. But he is gonna go for the Lien to try to draw into the Magisaur Blaster, which he does, and again, a nice looking SP. Neo not having his right chain, however, he does have 2 Sentinels. And looks like he is not damage denying CardProtagonist. CardProtagonist does have the Blaster Blade to spare, considering he does have a Ganslot in his hand. He also doesn't necessarily need to use Wingle Brave for his skill, but he will need him as a booster. Which is why he's probably not using his skill, and he needs that Wingle Brave to hit that Phantom Blaster Overlord if Neo rides it again. No ride chain, and he just lost the Perfect Guard to the bottom of the deck. And CardProtagonist is getting a defensive draw trigger. This might be looking great for CardProtagonist. Oh, and the Min is also a 5,000 power card, so CardProtagonist will be easily able to abuse that into his favor, or to take advantage of that. But it depends on how he wants to put his pattern, his attack pattern out. Does he want to call the Blaster Blade behind the Blaster Dark, and then have a Marin and Bedivere column? No, he's saving the Bedivere.
Vanguard
I was saying it for next turn because he might need it. And plus, Phantom Blaster Dragon and Overlord are able to retire rear guards, so it'd be pretty bad to lose a Bedivere at this point in the game. They just draw with the Soul Saber Dragon into a Palamedes. But that attack is gonna get hit by a Sentinel, so those 2 damage are not gonna make contact. You're now going into the Phantom Blaster Dragon.
Phantom Blaster Dragon Sperion. Call. Skill Hatsudo. Sperion.
Nice. Superior Call into a booster. Is he gonna use the skill? Of course he's not. He doesn't need any more Phantom Blaster Dragons.
Skill Hatsudo.
He is gonna discard that Phantom Blaster Dragon to draw into a Nightmare Painter. If only he saw that, if only he got the Nightmare Painter first, he could have easily rolled Phantom Blaster Overlord first, and then and then use the Nightmare Painter to put the Phantom Blaster Dragon into the soul, giving him that 13k body. And it looks like he went for Phantom Blaster Dragon skill, killing off retiring the Wingle Brave.
Vanguard on the attack.
He does not get a damage trigger, which means... Oh, actually, normally this would have hit. However, CardProtagonist also have a Sentinel of his own to block that attack. Neo's currently at 3 damage, but he also has a Sentinel, so that Magic Blaster is probably not going to hit him this turn either. Since he does not have Blaster Duck in his soul, Neo's Phantom Blaster Dragon is only at 10,000 power. He calls that Bedivere to the same column as Marin. That's a magic number of 20,000, so even if it's a trigger, he still will be able to hit him. It looks like he's going for it. Yes, he is. And Neo still has that Sentinel in his hand. His CardProtagonist got attacked with the Vanguard Magic Solar Blaster, try to bait it out first. Looks like he is, and there goes the Sentinel. Yep, there it is. To block that attack. Neo does have a Phantom Blaster Overlord in his hand, but not the best card to have right now. He might need a few more defensive cards, because this does not look like he can finish off CardProtagonist during his following turn. And he draws into a Dark Dictator. And there it is, a Cross Ride. Okay, what's Neo planning to next? Is he gonna try? Yes, he is. Using Phantom Blaster Overlord skill, he is going to retire the Maron, making it all the more difficult for CardProtagonist's cards to hit his Phantom Blaster Overlord. However, if CardProtagonist gets a booster or a trigger, that might be the end for him during the next turn. Yeah, it looks like he didn't even draw into a Sentinel, he drew into a heal trigger. Even worse. And there it is, a booster for CardProtagonist. I put the Marin to target the Dark Dictator, good move. Since Dark Dictator can pump up Neo's front row rear guards at 5,000 power. And risking it with a Magic Blaster attack. Neo does need 2 heal triggers to... Oh, and never mind. The score is now tied 1-1. We are moving on to Game 3 for this exciting match between CardProtagonist and FGC Neo. So we are moving on to Game 3 of CardProtagonist versus FGC Neo. The score is currently 1-1, which means the winner of this next match moves on to the semi-finals. Okay, the match is about to start. Let's see who goes first. And this time it's FGC Neo going first. Okay, CardProtagonist opening with no blasters, but he does have a grade 1 and a Gancelot. And a Lien, so he does have an opportunity to draw into his engine and fix up a little bit. Neo still not getting his ride chain, unfortunately. Riding the Nightmare Painter. And he is using a skill to place the Phantom Blaster Dragon into his soul, which means when he gets to grade 3, he just ride into Phantom Blaster Overlord and immediately have that 13k body for both turns. Our protagonist having the Blaster Dark and using Gansol to grab the Blaster Blade. And he will be using that Lien skill. It's called a Palamedes, and let's see what he gets. And into another Lien. Is he activated again? Yes, he is. Interesting, discarding the Palamedes. I think I would have dropped the Maron instead, in my opinion. Oh, and getting another early game heal trigger. It won't go off and go straight to the drop zone. Quite unfortunate. Oh, and Neo does get the Blaster Dark, which means he gets to save his Cursed Lancer for later on into the game. It's very interesting though. It doesn't seem like FGC Neo is too concerned about Royal Paladin getting that one counter blast. Seeing as all 3 games, he attacks whenever he can. Now, CardProtagonist does have 1 damage, so he can use Wingle Brave, but if he does get a heal trigger, then there goes that strategy. But luckily that wasn't a heal trigger, that was a Blaster Dark. But that is a heal trigger on FGC Neo's side. So Neo stayed at 1 damage, however, CardProtagonist does get the Majesty Lord Blaster and it's all set up for next turn. Neo does go into his Phantom Blaster Overlord and has a copy to spare for his Persona Blast. But he only has the Cursed Lancer. Does not need a trigger to hit, and does he get, and oh, is he considering the? Oh, and he is doing the Persona Blast, getting 10,000 power and extra critical, which will put CardProtagonist at 4 damage. And that is no triggers on CardProtagonist's side, and losing a Sentinel. And there it is, Majesty Lord Blaster SP for the maximum style points, folks. Calling a 3rd Lien, is he going to use a skill this time too? He might use actually one of the side ones, just because he only needs 1 9k hitter to take down that Cursed Lancer. Or he might retire with Blaster Blade. Maybe. And he is going to use the Lien, discarding the Maron and drawing into a draw trigger. Unfortunate. Blaster Dark goes for the Cursed Lancer. And Neo does get a draw trigger, drawing into another Mac Lien. Nope, drawing into my mistake. Drawing into that Phantom Blaster Overlord. So he will be able to use the Persona Blast again next turn if he chooses to. However, CardProtagonist does have the East Wolf in hand, so that's going to be blocked against easily. Oh, a bad hat car over into in the main. And folks, if I have been butchering his name, which I probably will be for the whole tournament, feel free to leave on the comments how to properly pronounce that card's name. Bad car. Okay, and Neo taking out one of the Liens, making it more difficult for
Vanguard にアタック
CardProtagonist Magisaur Blaster to hit.
スキル
And he
発
is
動
going to Persona Blast, either risking it to finish him off this turn or at least baiting out the
ファーストゲット
Sentinel in CardProtagonist's hand.
セカンドチェック
完
There
全ガ
it
ー
is, the Sentinel.
ヴァンガードにアタック
And then the main
ドダメージ
into
強
the
ヒー
is
ルト
gonna
リ
hit.
ガー
However, it does get cancelled out by a heal trigger on CardProtagonist's end.
スタンド&ドロー
This match can still go either way, folks. However, it doesn't look good for CardProtagonist looking at those 3 Sentinels in Neo's hand. The CardProtagonist does get
コー
the
ル
Bedivere and Blaster Dark.
頼んだよ
Now the attack order does matter here. Between either risking it with Magisaur Blaster or
リアガードに
Bedivere.
アタックヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェック
And no trigger, which means Magisaur Blaster is not hitting that Phantom Blaster Overlord. But there is still Bedivere
ヴァンガードにア
to
タ
swing
ッ
at
ク
him. And no trigger on Neo's side.
スタンド&ドロー頼むスキル発動
Dark Mage Superior calls into a Dark Dictator
スペリオン
and a Blaster Javelin. CardProtagonist doesn't have any cards in his hand, which would have been a great time to use
スキル発動
the Persona Blast, unfortunately. Phantom Blaster Dragon taking out that one Interceptor. Dark Mage taking out the other.
ヴァンガードにアタックファーストゲット
And a heal trigger on Phantom Blaster Overlord's attack.
セカンドチェッ
ダメージチェッ
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. No card in hand.
クヴァンガードにアタ
Uptime
ッ
needs
ク
a heal trigger. Will he get it? And he does not. Which means with a score of 2-1, FGC Neo will proceed on to the semifinals. And unfortunately, this is the end of the line for CardProtagonist. That was a very exciting game, folks. I hope to see more games like this in the rest of the tournament.